Okay, hello everybody. My name is Leslie Williams, and this is going to be an educational and informative video. It's an update. And what I'm going to state in this video is going to be, hold on. Now, I decided to come here to sit back and eat my lunch along my routes today, and in a quiet environment. And we're going to see if anybody bothers me or approaches me as I'm making this video. Now, just to let you know what's going on with my finger, I accidentally cut it the other day when I was trying to create a hole in a belt, leather belt, and the knife slipped, and I cut a tendon, so it's hurting like hell. And this is to protect a finger from fungus getting onto my other fingers, because I scratched my toe in the middle of the night when I was sleeping. Hold on. I got a fungus on one of my toes, and I scratched it when I was sleeping, and it got on my finger. So I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't get on my other fingers. Okay, now, I just want to explain, and this right here is because I ride my bike. Alright, now, the reason why I'm making this video is because what I want to do is, this is an update video in reference to me updating my regular viewers, which I pretty much believe that I do have regular viewers. But I also want to make a statement. There are perpetrators getting online pretending to be fellow targeted individuals who are leaving comments on my YouTube videos, and within these statements that they're making while they're acting like they're pissed off about what's happening to me, they're employing what is called the direct conversation method. Hold on. Now, it's hard to prove because the information that they enclose in these YouTube statements are personal information that I can only know. Okay, so I just want to let you know that if you see, and they're also leaving harassing and extremely rude comments on my YouTube videos as well. So if you see any of my YouTube videos and they got comments on them that are extremely rude, like you're crazy, or a vile name they'll call me, or you're mentally ill, or you should go get mental health help, that's them. So just ignore them. Alright, hold on a second. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because I am a target victim and activist concerning the crimes of what is known as organized stalking. And this crime is also called gang stalking. Now, this is not crime that is committed by gangs, even though some gang members can be they can be attached to the syndicate that is responsible for these criminal expeditions, and certain gang members can be actually part of the syndicate, but that's not why it's called gang stalking. So I'm going to give you a name of a blog and some YouTube videos so you can see some evidence online, and I'll give you the name of an Instagram account and a Twitter account, so you can see search through the Instagram account and the Twitter account, so you can look at the profiles and the history in order to be able to view some more evidence. So I'm going to fly right into it right now. Go to Google and type in UCSD and Law Library. Are they networking gang stalking? Now, the perpetrators have hacked into that account, and what they're doing is copying and pasting information from the internet and putting it inside my blog. I've already taken it out once, and I've noticed that they put it back in there. And the day I noticed it, I didn't have time to erase it. I noticed it as I was literally leaving a library. Hold on. Okay, so that's a blog that's got about 70 videos in it, and some other blog titles in it that hold a huge amount of evidence as well. Hold on. Now, I am what is known as not just an organized stalking, gang stalking target. I'm also a whistleblower as a result of being a target, and as a result of the crimes that have happened to me as a result of me being a target of these criminalities. Let me check the batteries. Now, also go to YouTube, and you can also Google these YouTube titles. In fact, go to Google and type in Exposing Police 1, number 1, not O-N-E, and that's all one word. Exposing Police 1, space, YouTube channel. And the reason why I tell you to do that at YouTube is because I don't know how fast you'll be able to bring up that YouTube channel. It's the name of a YouTube channel. I don't know how fast you'll be able to bring up that YouTube channel if you just go to YouTube and type that in the search box. I'm still getting somewhat familiar with how YouTube and Google works. So go to Google and type in Exposing Police 1, all one word, the number 1, space, YouTube channel, and then hit enter. And then what you'll do is you'll come up with some YouTube videos that are dedicated to that YouTube channel. Once you do that, then just click on the YouTube videos, and any YouTube video that comes up dedicated to that channel. And then once the YouTube video comes up, then you can go into the channel and look at every single one of those YouTube videos. And also understand, I have at least 7 to 8 other YouTube channels, because I was trying to shake them off my tail until I accepted that cyber surveillance is a method of gang stalking. So you're surveilled and monitored in real time every single day, whether you're on your phone using the internet, whether you're on your own personal laptop, or whether you're using a library computer or a university library computer. Now, you can research gang stalking or organized stalking. The best way to research this crime is by researching it by both names in reference to all keyworded descriptions pertaining to their methods and tactics, and so on and so forth. Now, you can go to Google and type in organized stalking or gang stalking and cyber surveillance, computer hacking, cell phone tracking. In fact, you know, when they hack into your cell phone and or your computer, they can use both as a microphone, because your computer, your laptop, has got a microphone and a speaker that's dedicated to any video capabilities that your laptop might have, and they can use that speaker, the audio of that video application, as a microphone. This is the sophistication of the technology that these little filthy rat-ass, excuse my language, whores have and do utilize against targeted individuals. So just research everything I'm saying. You can also go to Google and type in gang stalking and email rerouting, cell phone call or phone call rerouting, faking email replies. They'll even go as far as literally rerouting a phone call that you make to anybody, whether it be a lawyer, a law firm, an activist group, even a homeless shelter, whatever. They will reroute that call to them, and they will literally pretend to be the people you're calling. You know, to be honest with you, if you want to get a preliminary introduction to see that this is, well, outside of the fact that it's all over the internet that they do this, did you ever see that movie, The Italian Job, the remake? They literally do that in The Italian Job in order to be able to get inside of Edward Norton's house to ascertain where they put the safe at. They entered his home and made his cable inoperable. And then they already had the phone lines hacked, and so when he went to go call the cable company to get his cable fixed, they rerouted the call to them, and then they came to the house and pretended to be cable installers. Now, you can also actually go to Google and type in cable installers in gang stalking, utility company personnel in gang stalking, handymen in gang stalking, landscape workers in gang stalking, construction workers in gang stalking, any business. Grocery stores in gang stalking, banks in gang stalking, post offices in gang stalking, the police in gang stalking. Lawyers are definitely involved in gang stalking. Social services workers are, as well as social security workers, fire department personnel, EMS employees, doctors, lawyers, judges, baby cakes. This is organized crime in the system at the federal, state, and local level, and it is a syndicate, and this syndicate is nationwide. Now, let me get to the meat and potatoes pertaining to. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to give you a couple YouTube titles that you can go to YouTube and type in. Learning disabled woman catches library security guard admitting that a staged complaint can cause her to be banned, UCSD. Learning disabled woman exposes Yucca Valley gang stalking. Learning disabled woman exposes gang stalking at UCSD. Learning disabled woman exposes gang stalking at UCSD Price Center. Learning disabled woman exposes gang stalking at SDSU. Learning disabled woman exposes gang stalking at Rouse. Learning disabled woman exposes gang stalking at SDPD HDQ, which is San Diego Police Department headquarters. Learning disabled woman exposes human traffickers gang stalk, I think it's me or something like that, to San Diego City Council meeting. Now, when you bring up each one of these YouTube videos, when you have the time to do it, and when you also have the time to research everything that is in the description of those YouTube videos, because there's, well, I'd say at least 95% of all my YouTube videos have cooperating material, including some of them having evidence, which you can also review at your time availability. Now, what I do in response to being a target of these crimes, one of the methodologies that I use in order to prove these criminal whores are doing this to my life, all of it being covertly managed. At times it's being directly executed, and then at other times it's being creatively, overtly, directly executed. I guess the spot I stopped off to have lunch at is near a train. Okay, so anyways, the point being is that the people who are doing this are complete literal strangers to me. In other words, well, we all know what a stranger means. If I left this area right now and went to a library, a grocery store, or a post office and stood in line, anybody that might be in those places or come in after I come in are going to be complete strangers. Okay? And this is literally the scope and depth of what I mean when I say that the individuals that are doing this to me are nothing but literal, complete strangers. Now, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to backtrack for a second. Go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. Okay, make sure you look at everything in the description of that YouTube video slowly, meticulously, and thoroughly, and you will realize that I predicted that assault in an email file 11 days before it occurred. I not only predicted the assault, but I also predicted where the assault would take place at, on public transportation. Then go to Google and YouTube and type in learning disabled woman exposes or explains how MTS assault video is altered. Now, also go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman brutally assaulted again. Okay, then go to YouTube and type in 070914 learning disabled woman brutally assaulted again. I have been brutally assaulted now 5 times. 5 times. Now, the only individuals who, oh, by the way, let me backtrack. That video of me being assaulted on the MTS bus, it's not only altered, but the police report concerning it was completely falsified and facts were omitted from it. So, that right there should tell you and anybody else that this is organized crime in the system. I reported the fact that that video was altered and that the police report was falsified to police officers, the San Diego DA's office, the California Attorney General. None of them did nothing. You can also go to YouTube and Google and type in learning disabled woman sexually harassed by San Diego Sheriff's officers inside the Hall of Justice. They didn't do a damn thing about that either. Okay, so let me get into the reason why I'm making this particular video. What I do in response to what is happening to me, one of the things that I do, everything that I do, okay, on a daily basis, whether it has to do with me exposing them or just living my life, is completely legal. Completely legal. I am not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I am not a threat to myself or others, and I am not mentally ill. And the reason why I decided to make those 3 statements is because these are the types of labels that these little filthy, perpetrating, whore-ass rats will attempt to label targets as in order to discredit the target themselves and the truth they're exposing. Now, before I get into the subject matter pertaining to why I'm making this video, I'm going to mention one more YouTube title. Go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman exposes criminal motivations of gang stalking. Actually, I'm going to say a couple more. Learning disabled woman exposes gang stalking at hiking areas. Learning disabled woman makes predictions at hiking areas. Okay. Now, the reason why I decided to give you all this evidence is because it's important for me to not only educate you about these crimes, so you can, if you feel inclined to do so, you can take what I state and research what I state, so you can become aware that this criminality exists, so you can make informed decisions to protect your life, your family, so you can protect yourself, your family, your loved ones, your friends, and your property, because these expeditions are going on in every state, city, and town in the United States, and make no mistake about it, businesses are involved, universities are involved, public libraries are involved. It's organized crime in the system, baby cakes, at the federal, state, and local level. And they do have tentacles out within the community, and their employment descriptions allows them to employ a lot of their techniques. So go to Google and type in learning disabled woman, go to Google and type in gang stalking, creating fake, bogus criminal investigation files. Then go to Google and YouTube and type in listen to a stranger. Now that's a good YouTube video that you can watch to give you a preliminary introduction in reference to some of the techniques and tactics that these little filthy red-ass whores will utilize against the target, and concerning how they will solicit community members to do specific things towards a target based on a lie, a badge, and when they're actually practicing it out in the community, they will combine the lie and the badge with a fake, bogus criminal investigation file. Now, the badge can either be real or fake. In other words, the badge can be real in reference to a syndicated cop, or it can be fake in reference to an individual who might actually be a cop, but might decide to use a fake badge on the day he's trying to participate in his crimes, or it can be an individual impersonating a police officer, any type of police officer. So just, the best thing to do to get to the meat and, to get to all the evidence in order to be able to take each part and then create a whole to see the patterns and to see the crimes and the victimization, is to slowly research every single thing I state, and then cross-reference the material and synthesize it together, and you will be able to conclude by having a pictorial representation in your mind that these criminal expeditions are active, prevalent, searching, intrusive, methodical, and they do not care at all what they will do to you, your children, even your pets. The reason why I decided to make this video, as a result of me being an organized stalking, gang stalking target, one of the methodologies that I use is to predict what these little filthy right-ass whores will do before they do it. Absolutely. Now, and you would not believe the evidence I got in reference to the amount of evidence I got and the factual reality that the evidence is literally indisputable. It's literally black and white, in your face, in your lap, jaw-dropping evidence. Let me get my sweatshirt on here. Now, so what I do is I have predicted every single thing that's happened to me. I have predicted all 5 assaults. I predicted, 2 arrests, and I also predicted what they were going to do in court. Now, let me get to the meat and potatoes pertaining to the particular subject matter of this video. On November 10th, 2014, I used my cell phone to make a tweet on Twitter. I stated TTTTT, which is a code. It's a code technique that I use in order to hide my identity. And the reason why I did it is because that code has been attached to some online anonymous UCSD campus police reports that I made to UCSD campus police back in 2012 on their website pertaining to filing police reports online. Okay, because I wanted to remain anonymous at that time because I was employing a technique. Now, ladies and gentlemen, so I decided to use that as my way to see, because when you send an anonymous email, or when you make an online website contact with a police department and you don't sign your name and you remain anonymous, and you might even say who's sending you this email, but you put a code in there that does show your identity indisputably once you expose what the code means, then what they don't do in reference to what you're reporting shows gross negligence of duty. Because if what they don't do, like if what's talked about happens again, especially in the same exact identical way, you can say, hey, look, I notified them that biomedical library staff at UCSD is involved in gang stalking. I notified them that Club Med restaurant employees, which is a restaurant on UCSD campus, has been involved in gang stalking. And then I say how. Like repeating gang stalking, oh my God, around me everywhere I go, every single day, which is one way they let me know I'm being gang stalked, because they got to know where I'm at and who I am to do it. It's an overt way to let you know you're being gang stalked, and it's also an overt way to mentally remind you that you're being gang stalked, and it is a way to mentally harass you about it by constantly putting different people along your route every day, everywhere you go, to repeat it. Now, my tape recorder don't lie, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure you look in that blog. UCSD and Law Library, Are They Networking Gang Stalking, is the title of it. So on November 10th, 2014, I made a tweet and stated TTTTT, predicting assaults, arrest, I think I might have put illegal IL tickets, which means illegal lodging tickets, robberies, rapes, for the next year at all new and current hiking areas. And then I dated it, and then I signed it TTTTT. Within 22 hours, UCSD police and SDPD police showed up at my hiking area, acting like they were there to do, because they were searching for somebody that supposedly had a warrant in the neighborhood. And then they acted like they stumbled across me, and they were caught already in 3 lies, because I reviewed the audio file. And then they arrested me. Now, I was given a ticket at that same location on August 27, 2014, and that court date was changed from, pertaining to that ticket, was changed from October 21st, 2014 to December 1st. Now, you might think to yourself, well, she was still there in November, she had plenty of time to move. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Leslie Williams. I had almost 2 years of camping gear that I had accumulated at that area. Okay, I also was reviewed through Social Security, which I still am being reviewed, which I'm predicting right now I'm going to lose. Social Services and federal student loan lost my October payment, and I had to jump through at least 7 different hoops that at least took away at least anywhere between 7 and 16 days of trying to deal with that because of all the different places I had to run to prove I paid them. And then within a day of approving it, they contacted me. So and if you're on social services, any type of social services benefits, when you're reviewed through them, you got to run all over town in order to get updated Social Security reports, proof of income, bank statements, filling this stuff out, and just so on and so forth. Now, this was also on top of moving property, which I can only move so much on my bike every day, on top of everything that I had to go to maintain the safety of my property at the current hiking area I was still at. I was literally uploading videos all over the internet showing the fact that I was moving. Big, gigantic duffel bags filled with property, stating I'm moving this. I was making predictions tweets on days that I took property to the other areas, stating that I'm going over to RR Colony 5 today to drop off some prop. If anybody bothers me or harasses me, it'll be gang stalking related, and I already am being gang stalked at that area as well. So the point being was I was doing everything that was humanly, physically possible to move from that area as fast as I possibly could. Now, that is the truth. I have no reason to lie about it. So I made a tweet on November 9th, 2014. I think it was around 9:30. I took a screen snapshot picture of it on my phone. So go to Twitter and type in @ Higgins with an S, GGGGG. That's my Twitter account. And then go to Google for Instagram and type in Instagram space exposing truth account. And that's my Instagram account. Now, there's evidence that has been tweeted, a massive amount of evidence that has been tweeted, and there's a massive amount of evidence on Instagram as well. So I predicted this arrest 22 hours before it occurred. When they put me in handcuffs and put me in a van, they took me to SDPD Police Department headquarters, checked my property in there, and then took me all the way out to Santee or something, to a detention center that was run by San Diego deputy sheriffs. You would not believe the way I was treated in that jail. They knew who I was. They'll lie about it up and down the road. They'll even possibly use this video and say, now she thinks we know who she was. Absolutely. Go to Google and type in gang stalking and or organized stalking in jails. Then go to Google and do the same thing and cross-reference it to hospitals, do the same thing and cross-reference it to psychiatric floors, and do the same thing and cross-reference it to county mental health. Okay? That's right. A target individual is gang stalked along every single one of their routes, everywhere they go, every single day, including where they live, motel rooms, apartment complexes, grocery stores, banks, post offices, movie theaters, transportation services, anywhere and everywhere, libraries, universities, college campuses. So do you honestly think that if they got the ability to do all this, do you honestly think that they don't have the ability to have you gang stalked in jail? Just Google it. All you gotta do is Google it, literally. Now, remember what I said, this is a very intrusive crime because it's organized crime in the system at the federal, state, and local level. It's a syndicate, and it is a nationwide syndicate. Okay, so when they took me to the detention center, and then once we arrived there, a San Diego police officer got out of the van, and then he went and opened up the back door to let me out, and he tried to, he tried to get me to sign a blank sheet of paper that was, the sheet of paper was a log, L-O-G, pertaining to how much cash or anything else of value that you might have on you. He wanted me to sign it blank. And he already knew that I had at least $1,200 in cash on me. I told him I was not going to sign it, and he said, if you don't sign this, I'm going to give you another ticket for impeding an investigation. I go, you go right on. Okay. Then he took me in there and fed my money into a machine, took the receipt and put that with the phone that he allowed me to have, and then checked that in, and then they checked me in. And right before he left, I said, I told him, I'm not sure if I told him there was a YouTube video or not, but I said, look, I was brutally assaulted on an MTS bus, and then MTS sent me an altered video. Will you make a police report concerning it? And while I was telling him this, two other San Diego police officers were standing right, practically, they were standing within 5 feet of us. So that's 3 police officers, 3 more police officers that have been physically briefed on the fact that I was brutally assaulted on an MTS bus, and then MTS sent me an altered video, and I had not heard from any of them concerning that. That's right. Now, so I then get in jail, and I'm kept there for 3.5 days, about 3 days, and then they took me down on November 13th to the San Diego courthouse and put us in a holding cell, me and some other girls that they took down for their court appearances. And then I got kicked, brutally kicked in my ankle by this skanked out freak that was also there. Now, I reported it to a San Diego Sheriff's deputy. She put me in another cell. But they did not make any type of report. Now, when a public defender came to see me, I told him that I'm a whistleblower and that I believe that this arrest was staged and that it was more than likely a retaliation arrest because of me whistleblowing. I also told him that I had another ticket on August 27, 2014, and that I had a court date for that on December 1st. And I said, will this case be put in the court file pertaining to that court appearance? He said, well, more than likely. I said, okay. He says, if you don't plead guilty to this, you'll go back to jail and stay there until your court appearance, until you, if you're going to request a trial. Now, keep this in mind. While this is occurring, a San Diego deputy sheriff is rushing me to sign the papers that he's telling me to sign, the plea agreement. She's saying, hurry up and do what you got to do. The van's leaving. It's all waiting on you. Hurry up and do what you got to do. She said it like 6 times, right next to me, okay? Now, while just not even 5 minutes before, I was brutally assaulted in a jail. And he's telling me that if I plead not guilty, that I'll be held in jail until the court date. Now, I've already pre-mentioned about how they say gang stalk along all my routes everywhere I go, every single day, and you'll realize that indisputably if you just take a look at the evidence in reference to the YouTube video titles and the blogs that I've stated in this video. It's been in the blog, it literally shows you videos of it occurring around me in the Hall of Justice, and that building is right next door to the courthouse. Absolutely. And it was the same building where I was sexually harassed by 2 San Diego Sheriff's deputies. Absolutely. Okay. Now, the point being is this. Is that I'm being told, I'm being intimidated, I'm going to go straight to jail if I don't make this plea agreement. I'm being rushed by a San Diego deputy sheriff's officer, and I just got assaulted. All 3 of these things happening while I'm being treated like complete shit in jail. And there's some other things going on in jail, in that detention center. I can't talk about it because I can't prove it. And if I talk about it, these little filthy rat-ass whores in the system can use anything I say against me. Because calling a target individual crazy, delusional, bipolar, schizophrenic, paranoid schizophrenic is a gang stalking method, and that method is all over the internet. So I said, okay. I go, well, can I appeal it if I plead guilty? He said, yes. So in order to avoid, now the reason why I brought up about how people were saying gang stalk around me everywhere I go is because if they know where I'm going, if they know where I'm at every day to prop up all this harassment around me every single day, okay, the same exact identical verbal harassment, which you'll literally be able to see in your face, indisputably, of it happening to me everywhere, including my hiking areas, including at UCSD, and including at the San Diego Police Department headquarters, and inside the Hall of Justice. Now, let's take a look at this. The same exact identical verbal harassment happening around me every day, everywhere I go, happening in the same exact identical way. Okay? Now, has that same exact identical verbal harassment been caught on audio file occurring around me every single time I went into the San Diego Social Security office? If I got put in jail, they could have put me in jail for 6 months, and I would have lost my Social Security because I would not have been physically free to attend to any and all appointments that Social Security is going to demand for me to go to pertaining to this review. And make no mistake about it, they're either going to use mail theft and mail delayment, or they're going to try and say that I'm no longer disabled, or that I didn't do something that I was supposed to do in reference to something that was required of me to do pertaining to this disability review. So here I am thinking in my mind, I got a disability review. If I get put in jail for God only knows how long, I could lose disability while I'm on it. In fact, 3 days before, I was told by a Social Security worker that if you're in jail for 31 days, one day over 30 days, whether it's a misdemeanor or not, your Social Security can be suspended. So I got all this going on in my head while I'm being rushed, 5 minutes after I'm attacked, while I'm also being intimidated. So I asked him, I go, can I plead it? He goes, yes. He goes, okay, sign this piece of paper. I go, okay, I'll plead guilty and I'll just appeal it. I go, what do I got to do? And he goes, well, just sign this and you'll be put on probation, no fines. You won't even have to see your probation officer. This is all he was telling me. So I signed a piece of paper and then I go to get up, okay, to leave because I'm being rushed. And then he says, oh no, you signed the wrong paper. I'm sorry. You need to sign this one. I'm sorry. I gave you the wrong paper. So I signed the other one while I'm still being rushed in between. So check it out. On December 1st, 2014, when I went down to for the court appearance pertaining to the August 27th ticket, which was given to me by UCSD police, I was told that day that on November 13, 2014, that they had consolidated both tickets, okay, to one sentence. 3 years of probation. And why did they do this? They did this so they could walk away with the effects while taking away my right to have a trial. Because they know I got indisputable audio evidence. Indisputable audio evidence that would have proven beyond a reasonable doubt that since I was experiencing the same exact verbal harassment caught at my hiking area where I got the ticket at, that's been caught at UCSD. And then it was UCSD police that came down to my hiking area to give me the ticket to arrest me. Along with, well, they came to my hiking area on August 27th, but on November 10th, it was SDPD and UCSD. Now, Gangstalk, oh my God, it's been caught on several audio files, all over, on at least 75 to 150 audio files all over UCSD campus. It's been caught at that hiking area that I moved from, and it was caught at the San Diego Police Department headquarters. It was also caught in the courthouse on previous days that I was in there for other matters. That's right. And it was caught in the Hall of Justice, which is the building dedicated right next door. So, let's take a look at this. The same exact identical verbal harassment has been caught happening at my hiking area, on UCSD campus, at SDPD headquarters, inside the Hall of Justice, and inside the courthouse. The same exact identical verbal harassment happening in the same exact identical way, and the verbal harassment is peculiar. It's not verbal harassment that people say pertaining to the words and phrases that are repeated along anybody's route, okay? They're never said. Like repeating gangstalk, oh my God, gangstalk, crazy, gangstalker, oh my God, gangstalking, oh my God, gangstalk weird, gangstalk crazy. Is she scared? Gangstalk, crazy, oh my God, gangstalk, weird, oh my God, gangstalk. Literally in that way. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but tape recorders can't have a mental illness. Now, they know I got this evidence because I've uploaded some of the evidence to YouTube, which you'll obviously see if you follow the instructions pertaining to the YouTube titles and the blog title descriptions. You'll literally see it all over the internet. That blog alone holds at least 70 videos in them. And additional blog titles that hold numerous amounts of videos in them. Cyber surveillance being a method of gang stalking, they know that evidence is online. So, if I would have pled not guilty, been able to go to court, I could have proved all of this crap, which would have at least proved reasonable doubt that these were staged arrests. Because the people that participated in them, and where I was being tried at, this verbal harassment has been caught in the same exact identical way at all places. I also told UCSD campus police that I was going to sue them at least on 4 separate occasions right to their face as they're standing 1 feet away from me. Absolutely. And what was I doing the day before on August 26, 2014 at UCSD Biomedical Library, the day before I got the ticket the next day? I was looking up La Jolla Lawyers online. Cyber surveillance being a method of gang stalking. So basically what they ended up doing by getting this public defender to railroad me, lie to my face, get me to lie and sign 2 different pieces of paper, they took away my right to a trial. and now I'm ending up on probation for 3 years, which means if I get another ticket for camping, I could go to jail for 6 months, lose everything I got, because my property could be stolen while I'm in jail, including Social Security I could lose. So is this now a hamstringed intimidation tool? That, Leslie, if you continue to make more noise, okay, all we got to do is come to your hiking area by staging an event, okay, and either psychologically baiting you to call the police, like having you raped, robbed, or assaulted, or we can act like a person heard you or saw you and have them call the police. Do you see how easy it is, fellow American citizens, to set a gang stalking target up? They create the homelessness. Go to Google and type in gang stalking creating homelessness of targets. Alright, so I'm gonna go. If you decide to really take a look at this video, now I'm going to make these appeals, and I'm predicting right now before I can do that, okay, before I can do that, or while it's in the process of being done, okay, they're going to either stage an event along my routes and have me arrested, okay, they're going to stage an event anywhere I go, university campuses, libraries, restaurants, movie theaters, grocery stores, transportation service routes, walking, riding my bike, or at any hiking area, which means camping area. They're going to stage an event, okay, and they will use anybody. These filthy red-ass whores will use children, they will use teenagers, they will use mothers walking their infants, individuals acting like they're going for a walk, walking their dog, utility company personnel. I'm going to say a couple codes here right now in order to hide the description of certain people that might have a normal appearing reason to be in the area where I might be hiking at. RPs and or volunteers for RPs. Just trust me. Once I disclose it, you'll completely understand what that means. Understand. Okay. You don't want to give too much information out pertaining to where you might be living at, because then they can say, well, I'm sorry, Leslie, but you even disclosed in your own video where you're living at, so you can't blame us for, for knowing. In closing, go to Google and type in homeless shelters and gang stalking, charities and gang stalking, churches and gang stalking, domestic violence shelters and gang stalking, motels and gang stalking, apartment complexes and gang stalking, jails and gang stalking, psychiatric floors and gang stalking. That's right, they can set you up to arrest you, put you in jail, and then while you're in jail or a psychiatric floor, they can then provoke you in these places to get you to defend yourself, and then use that inmate that assaulted you and their buddies to point the finger at you, blame you for the assault, and then press additional charges against you. Now, who might these people be? These are people that have gotten in trouble themselves, and who is asking them for their help to do this towards a targeted individual? Police officers, like sheriff's deputies, like San Diego police officers. Do you understand? These people are filthy sewer rats. So make sure you go to YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Methods and Tactics of Gang Stalking, and then Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Criminal Motivations of Gang Stalking. Today's date is December 14th, 2014. This is a video prediction. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm not involved in drugs, alcohol. I don't drink. I'm not violent in any way, shape, or form. I'm not a threat to myself or others in any capacity. I've already been brutally assaulted 5 times. That assault that took place in the courthouse jail was predicted about two weeks before, because I was beginning to make predictions pertaining to what could happen if they put me in jail, pertaining to the August 27th ticket. That was predicted as well. So review that Twitter account. Alright, I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm predicting right now they're going to take me off Social Security. I'm also predicting that they're going to arrest me. And if I decide to go to a homeless shelter, okay, what they're going to do is bait me by trying to make it look all attractive. Yes, Leslie, we can help you out. Yes, we can give you all these resources. We can even set you up in an apartment, Leslie. And then as soon as those papers are signed, guess what they're going to do? They're going to start the gang stalking of me there. Absolutely. And then they'll blame me for anything that happens. Assaults, threats, complaints, incidences, thefts, anything. This is the extent of organized gang stalking, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. Please research everything I stated in this video. And in closing, go to YouTube and type in similarities between human trafficking and gang stalking. Any San Diego police officers who are watching this that are involved in the syndicate, do you see how big my finger is, motherfucker? Fuck you. Okay, and that includes any corrupt San Diego sheriff's deputy. Now, as far as regular good cops, I'd salute you, but the Bible says I'm not supposed to. It says I'm not supposed to salute anybody. So if you're an uncorrupted police officer, the only thing I can say to you is go to YouTube and type in "Learning Disabled Woman Exposes the Gang Stalking of Police Officers," because even police officers can be victims of this crime. That's right. All right, I gotta go. I do appreciate listening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.